All right, guys, welcome back to the Clack Shack. Tonight, I got caught up on the ammo cans, got all them done. I am going to be working on a mirror, build another sign, kind of like the one that I've got on my wall over there for a customer. And while I'm working on that, I'm going to let that burn. And I've had a lot of questions about the D1 Pro and any issues I've had or any little, quirks about it that I wanted to share. And I've also had some questions about the limit switches, how well they work, how well the rehome, how accurate the rehome 0 is, and that kind of thing. So while the mirror's burning tonight, guys, I don't know if all y'all been praying for me or what it is, but it is like 80 degrees outside right now, and man, it's feeling righteous in here with the fan going. So I just figured while I was out here, I would try to answer some of the questions about the D1 Pro, and from my experience, like I said, not a professional, not an expert. I'm going to tell you things that I have found out from personal experience, and they might be helpful to you. And if that's something that interests you, just stick around for a few minutes. I'm going to get some images loaded up, move the camera over here to where you can see the mirror, and I'm going to kind of touch on the mirror that I'm doing with the 10 watt, and then we're going to lead from there. And we're going to go into answering some questions and doing some testing with the 20 watt. So stick around for a few minutes. All right, guys, there's my 16 by 16 mirror. And you might recognize that jig right there. One thing that I will tell you is if you're doing a 16 by 16 mirror, due to the way the XTool D1 works, some of the framing, if you're using the crosshairs to do your framing, you may have to flip your squaring jig over like I did to kind of orient the laser more over to the left side. Because if you do it to the right side, it can't go over quite as far as it wants to use the red laser for framing. So if you have my kit and you're using that for mirrors, just know that you may need to flip that over. It'll attach either way, but you may need to flip that over and put the leg on this side if you're using the red pointer. But anyway, on this mirror, and I've done several of these, this is my 4th one for a customer, and then I've got mine. So I already know what the settings are for this, and I just want to go ahead right quick. I'm going to show you right now I've got my image up in my workspace on Lightburn. This is for a archery team here locally. They're having like an awards thing or something coming up, and the coach or assistant coach or somebody involved in the archery team asked me to make this mirror as kind of like for their clubhouse or den or whatever they got. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the frame and show you how I've got this thing framed out. I took time, and what I have done in the past is and I'm going to have to do some cable management with that cable over there. I'm not liking the way that thing's licking out there in this box. But I've got it framed out to where it is exactly where it needs to be. Yeah, that cable. I'm going to frame it one more time, but I'm afraid I'm going to do something with that cable over there. I had the leg extensions on it this whole time. I took them off to do this, and now I'm seeing an issue with my cable management over there. It looks like it's staying out of the way, but I still don't like that. But anyway, that's the frame right there. Give me just a minute, guys. I'm gonna have to train that cable a little bit and maybe put a little twist in it to get it quit doing that, because that concerns me. But anyway, we've got that going now. I am confident with the cabling being out of the way. Framing looks good. And what I'm going to be doing, guys, is I'm going to be running this on my 10 watt. This is the XTool D1 10 watt. This is my original machine. It's not a Pro or anything. I'm going to be running this burn at 120 millimeters per second. That's 120 millimeters per second at 100%. It's only going to be a one-pass burn. But I'm gonna go ahead and light that up and let that get started. And then we're just gonna close this, and I'll check back in on it after a while. And we're gonna go over to the over to the Pro 20 watt and go over some stuff with it for a minute while this works. Now, this is going to take quite a while. According to the preview here, it's going to take 42 minutes to complete, and being this a mirror, I don't want to be inhaling the fumes off of it, so we're going to shut this thing up and let that cook for a while. All right, guys, I hate to break it to you, but you're not going to be able to see me for these demonstrations tonight because I want you to be able to see what the machine's doing. That's what everybody's wanting to know. That is the questions that I have had, and the questions that people have asked me. I want to go over a few things that has been brought to my attention recently. There's been some folks that have reached out to me that had an issue with getting the machine to work with light burn. I don't know if it was an error on their part or if they didn't, do the preference folder correctly or what the deal was. But I will say this: if you have problems with your machine and you can successfully run the machine using the factory software from XTool, then obviously that indicates to you that it's going to be a light burn issue. And from everything I've seen, the only issues that I've been told about or helped anybody fix is the importing the preferences file. Now, one of the questions that I keep getting asked about the Pro, and I'm going to leave my enclosure open tonight for this so you can see it a little better, is everybody's asking how consistent is the home on the machine with the limit switches. Everybody knows that the Pro model has limit switches. Now, they appear to be like magnetically operated limit switches. And to be honest with you, I can't even say for sure because I'm so adamant about doing jigs that I don't even know the answer to this question. And in typical Clack Shack fashion, I decided that the best way to answer this question would be to perform a little science experiment. All right, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to do the home. I'm going to turn everything off except for the text. I'm going to go ahead and run the text, and I'm going to do the home one because I did home it when we started this video. Actually, let's just, for the argument of science, let's just go ahead and pull that thing off of home. I'm going to rehome it, and I'm going to launch it to do the engrave that is marked home. It's going to do the circle on home, but I'm going to go ahead and let it run the text too while it's out, just for both circles. So here we go, and that is deploying from the home position. My machine is a little dirty, guys. I haven't cleaned it a few days, but hopefully it's not dirty enough to cause us any problems tonight. And I made this circle kind of small for the sake of time, as well as to try to show the accuracy of the machine. And I'm using a line just so that it's a lot easier to tell if it's off. Okay, so I'm going to let the machine go back to my pre-configured location, but I'm going to move it. So I'm going to go ahead and move this thing off home position. All right, I'm going to rehome. I'm going to disable the text because we don't need that text ran again. And from that home position, I'm going to fire it back at this circle again and see what happens. All right, it's going to return on its own, but like I said, guys, I use the X3Y3, so just to make sure and to keep this scientific, we're going to pull it off of home again, and I'm going to run it back to the home location. And this is using the limit switches. So, I mean, if this thing's off, it's going to be because the limit switches aren't exact. But so far, the past two runs, it's pretty spot on. Okay, there's 3, and guys, it's looking like those limit switches might be the ticket. Let's move it again. I'm gonna move it all the way across this time. I'm gonna really try to mess it up. See if I can make a mistake here. Because it's using both sets of limit switches. Because if either one of those guys is off, it is gonna make this cut off. And here we go again. And guys, I hope you're keeping count of how many passes this is. I think this is number 4. And that's pretty dang good right there. Let's just keep going here. We'll do best out of 10. If it can consistently hit the same hole 10 passes, I'm gonna call that workable. I may not need to use X3Y3 anymore after this experiment. Just to be honest with you, I'm starting to think that maybe I don't need to do it with the Pro now. But I haven't had a chance to sit down and do this to make that determination. So that's like 5 passes, guys, and it is drilling that same spot. Rehome, launch again. Now I will continue I will probably leave the settings on my machine, and for one reason is because I still do use my D1, and so I'll probably leave the settings in Lightburn. But if all you have is a Pro, it's looking like it may not be necessary with the Pro models, guys. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not ready to call it just yet, but I don't know how long I can do this and before it messes up. Well, good job, XTool. This is pretty accurate. All right, I'm gonna rehome again. And like I said, I'm rehoming. I'm moving it by hand and rehoming it every time so you guys can see that. I'm not cheating here. That is from the home position again. And I mean, that's rehome. All right, I'm gonna make this the last time, guys. If it hits the same spot this time, then I'm gonna call that good. Yeah, guys, that is man, that is dead on. And there it is. I'm gonna pull that out where you can see it a little bit better. All right. Ooh. A little close there, guys. But there, now I had my speed way too high on the X3Y3, but it was supposed to just leave a mark, and that it did. But as you can see, that was probably 7 or 8 passes launching from the home location. And guys, it was nailing it. It actually cut the material. I can see light through the material, so it actually cut it, those little passes. So there you have it, guys. The limit switches and using the return to home is very consistent. I will say that it's a lot more consistent than what I was getting on my D1 before. So there you have it. All right, guys, before I pull the camera back up, I just wanted to peek in and check on how the mirror was coming. And as you can see, it's coming along quite well. I was a little concerned because this graphic wasn't exactly the best made graphic around, but it's turning out pretty well, pretty good. So I'm gonna let that thing keep cooking. All right, guys, like I said, I hope that answers questions for you on the limit switches. And the ones of you that missed it, I did get my enclosure put together. Got the fan in, got everything working good. Still waiting on my window and my camera. And once those get here, I plan on putting finishing touches on this thing. And it's doing a good job so far, because trust me, guys, these mirrors, they smell when you're engraving them, and I can't smell this one at all. Now, the one thing that I did, as you may notice tonight, is that I'm not running the air assist. And the only reason that I'm not running the air assist tonight is because it's been a while since I've done one of these mirrors, and I did not run the air assist on the last one that I did. I didn't want to take the time tonight to run the air assist and see what the settings were. This new nozzle that I've got, the one that comes with the Com Grow, it doesn't seem to be collecting the dust as bad as the one from XTool did. So I'm really not concerned with it. I checked the nozzle before I started the job, and it was doing good after several burns doing the ammo cans. So just to keep things consistent, I went back to my notes. My notes said to run this speed, and that's what I'm running. And like I said, I have like 5 successful burns on these 16 by 16 mirrors. I got them at the same place. And so I'm pretty confident that this is gonna be the perfect speed, and I didn't want to go complicating things by trying to turn the air assist on. I do have a practice mirror around here somewhere. I can get it out and try it later, but the last ones I didn't use air assist. I didn't really see a need in it. It's an engrave. It's a relatively easy engrave on the XTool. It's not a whole lot of work. It takes a while because it is a large engrave, but power setting wise, it's not that much. So, but anyway, guys, I got a few more little things I'm going to be doing around here. I got some designs I'm working on. I might try to get a picture or 2 of those out tonight if I can, and hopefully in the morning this video will be out. For those of you that have been asking the question about how dependable are the limit switches on the XTool D1 Pro, I'm assuming that the limit switch setup is the same on all the machines, but I can speak for this 20 watt, and I will tell you that I'm impressed with the repeatability using those limit switches, because when you watch it work, it looks as though it's got a little bit of a rebound to it, and that had me concerned. But I mean, I just proved it tonight, guys. I mean, it is actually very very close to I'm not going to say it's dead on, but it is not enough to be noticeable in the cut. I mean, that looked like it's just a straight up one burn, one pass cut. So I'm going to say that they are actually dependable. And if all you have is a Pro, then you can just use the home. I think that would be sufficient, even for jig stuff. That's the accuracy that thing's putting out would be good enough for jigs. Now, with the traditional standard D1, I still recommend the X3, Y3, because if not, it's going to bump the rails when you're jigging stuff out. Now, my home is actually pretty consistent, but I have slowed my framing speed down. And when you slow the framing speed down in light burn, it also slows down the homing speed. And so mine doesn't slam into the sides of the machine. It just kind of gently bumps into it, and then it slides to the back and gently bumps into it. My home on my D1 standard is pretty consistent, but I always frame the first cut just to be sure, especially if it's something that I'm making for somebody else, or a piece of item that I would have to throw away if I messed it up. Now, if it's just a wood cutout, I don't worry about it. But that would be my advice, guys. So if you're looking at the 20 watt, that's my opinion. You can use the home feature on it and get repeatable results, at least for 7 or 8 turns without a mistake. I'm not going to sit here and do it all day, but at least 7 or 8. One thing I do want to touch on, and I almost forgot, you almost let me forget, guys. My friends at Rustique Relics, let me get this pulled up so I don't misquote. They did win the competition that they were in. So my friends, Rodney and Missy up at Rustique Relics, their business is now the 2022 Customer's Choice Award winner for the State of Alabama Retail Association. And that's a big deal for a little small town like us. And guys, I mean, I know between you guys and May's folks, I know y'all helped out a lot on that, and we really appreciate it. We try to be supportive of local businesses and trying to build them up and to help them, because in supporting other local businesses, they help support me and my business ventures as well. And it's a win-win for everybody. So I appreciate everybody that went to their page and went to that link and voted. I appreciate everybody that went to their Facebook page and gave a shout out for the Clack Shack. That was awesome. Rodney and Missy said they appreciated it a lot. And if you've got time, guys, swing by Rustique Relics page. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video, and I'm going to add a link to the post where they shared the fact that they won, and just drop in there and tell them congratulations from the Clack Shack. You can the Clack Shack crew, however y'all want to do it, guys. Just use your imagination, but show these guys some love and respect for what they've done. It's a big deal in our community. We're real proud of them. Like I said, we're a town of maybe 9,000 people, And to be able to win an award like that in the state, that's pretty awesome. And it couldn't have been done without you guys out there on the internet helping us and pitching in and helping support them. And we appreciate that. So if you haven't already too, before you leave on the way out, hit that subscribe button. The more of them I can get, the better. I'm really, I guess you would say, surprised and proud of the growth of the channel so far. I try to do things that will benefit you. I'm not here just to get you to give me a thumbs up or a like or, you know, subscribe, but it does help me. I'm trying to get a better camera now, and hopefully within the next couple of weeks I will decide what I'm going to get. But I'm trying to make things better for you guys. And if you have any questions, as always, continue to send them over to my Facebook page, or you can email me. If you'll just Google the Clack Shack, you can go to the Facebook page, you can go to the website, or you can, you know, comment on YouTube. But you can message me on my Facebook page, and you can message me on the website, or send me an email to either way. But I appreciate it. I've got a couple of guys too, and I want to mention you guys because it was pretty awesome. I mentioned it to my wife earlier, and she thought it was just, it blowed her mind. But I've actually got a couple of guys, and I don't remember their names. When everything comes through, I'll try to at least throw them a bone. But they have created a PDF like blueprint of the enclosure without the ductwork, and they may add that. If you're watching, guys, you know, I added some more to it. I'm sorry. I haven't added the window yet. I'm sorry. But they created a PDF like a blueprint, and it looks like something out of a catalog. It was pretty awesome. And I think, I know for sure one of them said his intent was to be able to share it with me so that I could share it with you guys. And so if he gets through with that and we get all the stuff done to this and we get the window in and all that, I'll try to share that out. And so y'all can use it if you want, or, you know, give it to a friend or whatever that needs it. But I appreciate all the input. I appreciate the interaction with everybody. You guys, I mean, this is my hobby. I love what I'm doing just in the shop, but being able to help, being able to share stuff with other people and help people. I've had 2 people contact me today that had problems with their machines, and we got them working. That kind of stuff is what really makes it worth it. So I appreciate that. And if you have any questions, like I said, feel free to send me a message. And until next time, guys, stay safe and have a good day.